This is JB for JB Express. Back looking at the X Pro header builder to begin with. Today we're going to build what is the Fat Lad Food, which is my recipe website's header within Facebook. You can see that here. I've basically got a screenshot of how it's laid out. We're going to build this entire header right down to this line in a set of step-by-step videos held together in a playlist on YouTube. So first of all, what we're going to do is create the top piece here. Now, one thing I did notice in creating this, I don't know how to get this line. So the line's been cut out, but I do know how to do the rest of it and show you the rest of it, and it's fairly straightforward. So what I'm going to do is, and what I have done is I've created a series of bars which will include all of the different parts. First one is a search bar. I'm going to create a container, and then I'm going to create three things. I need two buttons and one search inline. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to click on button. I'm going to add here. I'm going to go to search inline. I'm going to add here, and I'm going to go to button. Okay, and we've got those here. Now they don't really look like they're set up properly. First of all, what we need to do is get the color right. So as you can hear, or as you can see here, it's actually blue in the background. So we just want to make sure that this color is correct. First of all, so I'm going to go into the actual thing bar itself. I'm going to change its background color to the Facebook color. Now I already have this set up as a color. I do have a separate video within the tips and tricks section of my YouTube channel that shows you how to set up these colors within the template section of X Pro. So by all means, click on the card above and check that out. But we've changed the color. Now I'm going to change the actual button, the first button itself. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go into this. And what I'm going to do to begin with is set it up so that it is the same as the integrity theme. Then we're going to set up all of the different colors and get everything sorted out from there. So the background color, again, I want that to be the same as the background color of what I'm looking at. And I'm going to do that for both the base and the interaction, so that whenever I roll over this, there's no separate interaction other than here's a button that says learn more. I'm going to change that slightly in a moment. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to remove the border shadow. I'm going to click on the border shadow color. I'm going to type in transparent, and you'll see that that now disappears, and the only thing I've got left is the actual button itself, which we'll look into in a little bit more detail separately. Then I want to go to text. Okay, so I want to turn that off because I don't want the button to have text in it. If we remember from our picture, the button doesn't have text, it has an arrow. So I want to sort that out now and get that done by turning on the graphic. What that's going to do is then give me the opportunity to choose a graphic here in this particular part. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring up all the font awesome stuff. I'm going to type in arrow because that's basically what I'm looking for. And I'm going to click on that, and it's hopefully going to give me the arrow. Yep, and then I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to white as my arrow color. You can see that here. But also I'm going to do exactly the same for my interaction because I need the interaction obviously to remain the same color. I also want to take a wee look at the size of this. I'm going to go back to setup again. Base font size I'm going to change to 3, and you can see here we've got it there. And then we just need to make some changes to the way that it's set out from a flex perspective, but we'll do that later on whenever we look at the actual container itself. So I've now got this set up, and I want to get my search set up. I might go back and actually look at the container and see how the container is set up from a flex perspective. I'm going to try and space it round. Yep, so that now makes everything centered. And what it's doing is looking at all of the space in between all of these and making it the same. And we now have that fully centered from there. So I'm now going to look at the search. Okay, the search is the same. I want to set the base font size probably to around 2, I'm guessing. We'll check with that whenever we load it in. It's actually a bit big, so we might leave that at 1 for the moment. I'm going to change the background color again to Facebook, which is what I want it to be. Again, you can still see the outline somewhat of the overall. So I'm going to go down to the design section and I'm going to remove again the and we're going to do the same for the interaction. And you'll see now there's nothing there. You can't see anything apart from the text, which is very hard to see, I guess, on this particular video. So let's make the change. The main thing that we want to look at is to ensure that we're set up in the right way from the perspective of the content itself. So what that means is there's 3 parts of the content. There's your input placement, which is your magnifying glass, submit placement, which is the search, and the clear placement, which is the X at the end. Now, I don't necessarily want to have the X at the end. I just might just take that out because the actual Facebook header itself, when we look at it, doesn't have it at all. It just has the magnifying glass and it just has the search. So we're just going to fix the search and the magnifying glass and take away the clear. And we're going to do that through these 3 sections here. So go to input. That is what we're looking at from a search perspective. Okay, so font size, I'm going to change that to 2, see what it comes out like. Yep, that's good enough size for me. I'm going to change the color to white, and I'm going to make it completely white. You can see that here. We see it's a bit thick, so I'm going to change to ultralight, and that's going to just dumb it down and take away a lot of the bolding from there. The last thing I'm going to do then is take a wee look at my submit. Again, the color, I want to change that to white, completely white. Okay. And then I also want to ensure that the interaction part of it is white also, in order to make sure that it doesn't change or anything when we roll over it. Again, I'm going to change the font size to 2, yeah, and that's going to give me a big magnifying glass as it is in this. Obviously not completely the same. This seems to have more weight to it, and I haven't really worked out how to do that yet completely. We'll move on to the clear perspective of it, and what I want to try and do is remove that completely. So I'm going to change the font size to 0, and that won't come up at all. So whenever I type, we get black text, but as you can see, there is no clear X. So let's sort out the black text, and we'll take that out and go back to the normal. We'll do that in the input section. You'll note here text color isn't exactly the same in the interaction, so I want to change that to white, and that's it done. So if I now click in here and type in fat lad food, as you can see, it comes out correctly, and I can't type because I have fat fingers, but hey, that's okay. So the next part then is to do the other button. I've shown you how to do that here. I'm not going to bore you with it, so we'll do a quick edit so that you can see the whole thing built back together. Okay, so I've done that now. I couldn't actually find the 3 dots that are here for some reason within the Font Awesome catalog, but hey, that's okay. We can do without it for once. What I've given you is the hamburger icon, and basically it's pretty much the same, bar a few noticeable differences. In the next video, we're going to move on and create this menu, and I'm going to show you how I mainly create all of the interactions within that. So thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon.